So this is a pattern I'm seeing very often. Those are moms who want to stop yelling at their kids and stop losing control over their emotions whenever they are running late, the kids are not listening. However, these moms, they understand already. So of course it's the kids. If they would just listen, if I was less stressed, I wouldn't yell. But they understand it's not just the kids' fault. There's something inside them. There is either a people pleaser who doesn't have any boundaries, who's wishy-washy, changing rules and trying to be nice, repeating things 1,000 times, and then going like from one extreme, like being too nice, having no boundaries, and then like when they become too stressed, too overwhelmed, there is really no time to waste, then they go like rah! Because that's the only thing that works. So they are aware of there's something in me that prevents me from feeling comfortable, setting clear boundaries, being consistent with it, and being able to deliver the boundary with calm. Because that's what all these parenting books are teaching you, right? It's so smart. It sounds so simple when you read it in a book, but then how do you do it when it's Monday morning and the whatever 8-year-old, 10-year-old is making you be late, right? How do you apply that? So I see these patterns for moms who are already aware that, oh my goodness, so there's something in me that is contributing to this drama and stuff that's preventing me from being that calm, well-balanced mom, even under pressure and like time pressure and stress. And also, they have been already taking action. So they have been taking these parenting courses, reading books, even about psychology, many of them even taking talk therapy. And they're coming back and reporting, yes, I need that talk therapy because it's helping me release all these emotions, because I know it's coming back from my childhood when I felt not heard and too controlled by my parents. And I was maybe scared of being punished by my parents. Or then the opposite extreme, like I grew up in a family where it was totally disorganized because my mom was a super people pleaser. So now I'm trying to live up to that standard when my mom, she was always so calm, she never yelled and she always got everything done. Yeah, by the way, she got sick and she was burned out, but I'm trying to be like her. So it's like, whatever happened in your childhood, these moms are already realizing it goes much deeper than what's happening right now. It is connected to how you grew up. And so they're taking therapy and they are feeling like, yes, it's helping me because now I can finally release and talk about all of this, but they still feel stuck because the awareness of what's going on is not the same as feeling the relief and being able to stay calm even in that moment of high pressure and like, it's go time, right? Because that feeling of calm and understanding, and I know it was not my fault then, I know what parenting techniques I should be doing now, but when the rubber hits the road, when it's Monday morning, go time, and you feel those like emotions are coming again and you feel it all over again, the trigger of I'm not respected, I'm not heard, how dare they, I'm doing everything for everybody, how come nobody's listening, they are not respecting me. Like the awareness, the information, like it's not about how many tools, how many hours you spend releasing all of that tension sitting on somebody's sofa. It's about, are you able to do it in those moments when it matters the most? When your kids do need that safe role model on how to handle stress, how to handle negotiations in relationships and hold those boundaries with calm, without breaking anybody or yourself. How to do it then? Well, long intro, but if you recognized yourself in any of these points that I mentioned, then first of all, zero judgment. I've been there myself. And then it's a good confirmation, good filter that this Zen Supermom podcast episode is for you. It's going to be a good use of your time. So without any further ado, let's jump straight in, shall we? Hi, and welcome to the Zen Supermom podcast. I'm Elena. I'm your guide because I'm a mommy tantrum specialist, not because I'm the best mom in the world right now, but because I used to be a specialist at having these mommy tantrums. So I have first-hand experience and memories. I know how it feels like. And I know it's usually like a topic that I was definitely not open to talking about before. So I appreciate you for being here, for even clicking or anything like this, because it takes a lot of courage to admit like, shoot, yeah, maybe it's me. Just nobody, please find out. I just need help secretly somehow. So no worries. This is a safe space, zero judgment. Let's go for it. So as I promised in my long intro, I did it intentionally that way because I wanted to filter in moms and dads, by the way, as well. You're invited too, who feel like, oh my goodness, this is me. How do you know? Have you been spying on me and my family in my closet? Like, no, I was not lurking in. But this is a very common pattern, okay? So this is already the first point when I want you to like breathe, because you're not alone. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with your kids. You're not doing anything wrong. But that's just like, let's have a look at what's really going on so that you can stop wasting your precious time and energy on getting stuck. Shall we? So first point I really want to make and really hit home for you is that the information and awareness doesn't equal transformation. So it's not about how many more books about trauma, childhood, parenting, whatever you're going to read. It's about knowing how to practice. Because whatever you read, whatever awareness, it's amazing only as long as you do something about it. Because if you're here, you already figured it out. The amount of information and memories, like about memorizing any parenting scripts in your smart brain, it has zero value in those moments when you get triggered, because in that moment, it's like, poof, everything goes out of the window. There's just that black, red, whatever color you have, like a smoke of anger or powerlessness in your head, and you forget all about this. Why? So if you want to read any good books like The Understanding or Ask ChatGPT, well, this is the good question to ask and understand. Your logical brain gets disconnected the moment it feels like a threat to your survival. Because in that moment when you get triggered, when you're running late to school, when you're afraid somebody's going to judge you because you have a kid melting down in the middle of the store, or you just came back from a Christmas with your family where you felt like everybody was judging you because you're a too nice mom, you should be more strict and have more control, otherwise they will disrespect you. Like whenever these triggers are coming at you and you feel like you freeze and you start like all these emotions are building up, your smart brain will check out. That's the classic fight or flight survival mechanism, right? And you might have even read about it in your smart books. But that's why the books fall short, because they don't teach you what to do next then to prevent that hijack. Or if you have been already hijacked by that fight or flight, how to recover from it as fast as possible, so that you regain your calm and balance and focus and you can navigate through that stress. Not collapsing into like disappearing, and not becoming the monster who starts yelling and commanding. Okay? That's why this is the first point. No amount of information is ever going to help you with that. So whatever you're looking for, it needs to be an embodied practice. It's practice because it will take some repetitions for you to be able to get hold of these triggers and not get hijacked on autopilot. And I'm talking about embodied because it's not your smart brain, it's your subconscious mind and your nervous system. Yeah. And you cannot control these through your logical mind. And I love putting this example of if you ever had a crush on anybody in your teenage years, and every time you saw them, you would like, your cheeks would go red, or like, or any public speaking opportunities, Anybody, they told you to stand in front of the class and give a presentation, and you would get red, or you would start like stuttering, not being able to say a word. How come? If you have such a smart brain, like if you could tell your brain like and your body like, stop being red like a beetroot, please, you're embarrassing me. Has that worked for you? I don't think so, right? So why do you think you can tell your brain, oh, just be a calm mom, you read so many parenting books? It's the same thing. Whenever it's like fight or flight, your body will take over. That's why your practice needs to be not just about practicing, memorizing, I say this and then say that. No, it needs to be embodied, because you need to practice feeling in your body and managing these sensations in your body before they take over. Does that make sense? Okay, that's my first point. Awareness even, or information, doesn't mean transformation. The transformation comes from repetitions, millions of repetitions in your body not just here. Okay. The second thing, and it's key as well, why I find that even people who are doing embodied practice right now for their stress right now, why they're struggling with, why they're maybe feeling some initial great results, but then they get stuck and either they stay at the plateau or they go even back down where they were before, is because, and I'm not pooping, please, on any of my colleagues, okay? There are lots of like amazing people doing lots of amazing techniques, and I know that because I'm doing PhD with lots of like my colleagues. I have nothing but respect for everyone. However, what we are talking about here is a thing that didn't start with you. Yes, allow me just like a little insight, okay? This is not just about what's happening with you and your kids right now in this very moment. As I already hinted into it, this is something that started in your nervous system very early on. It's intergenerational. It means it didn't even start with you. It didn't even start with your parents. It started way before. And I could go into a whole discussion about what that means. It's an intergenerational snowball, basically. Yes, it didn't start with you. It's developmental because it started very early on. It was in your first 2-3 years of your life, if not earlier even. Okay, that's when your nervous system starts being wired for how to react in stressful situations in the first 2 years of your life. That's why if you're trying to handle it with your adult brain right now, good luck with that. Not going to work. Okay, because this pattern has been with you. And if it doesn't get stopped now, that's actually what you're giving to your kids already. This is what we are dealing with. An entire timeline continuum, not just like, tell me something so that I don't have to yell on Monday morning going late to school. So then even your methods, there are lots of people who are doing methods for healing the past, like talk therapy. Great to get these emotions out of your body. Great to realize it was not your fault. Amazing. But that's where it stays, in the past. It doesn't give you ways to help in the present. There are lots of things that help with the current stress, right? Mindfulness, yoga, absolutely amazing. I'm doing these things myself. It helps you calm down right now. However, where I know from my own experience and working with hundreds and thousands of moms in my free stuff, I know this is not enough because you will get triggered again. You can be doing wonderful meditation 1 hour. You will come out as chill as Dalai Lama. But the moment you enter the kitchen and you see the mess, that after you spend a full day cleaning yesterday, it looks like there was atomic bomb that exploded. How long is it going to take you to go from 0 to 100% Momzilla yelling, screaming again? Few seconds probably. So where is that 1 hour of meditation or beautiful yoga session where you were first so chilled, such a beautiful chillax? Where is that? It is not transferable. Unfortunately, right? This is where, when I'm talking about embodied practice, you need something that is understanding that this is a timeline continuum. These situations cannot be handled as separate incidents. What's happening now, what happened to me then, and then what I want my kids. I want my kids to be confident but considerate, respectful human beings. So give me some beautiful parenting course of conscious parenting, attachment parenting, and all of these beautiful gentle parenting, Montessori. I love it all. But we need to start understanding it's all related. It's all linked. My past impacts how I treat my kids right now, and that's what's going to have the biggest impact on their future. Not what I tell and preach them to do and who I tell them, be confident, trust your dreams. If I'm the mouse hiding, not confident to say no to a friend if I don't want to do something for her, right? Like there's a dissonance. Your kids are going to pick up and model what you do, not what you preach. You already know that. So this is why I'm sharing whatever methods you're looking for, whomever specialist you're reaching out to, whatever you're already doing, whatever practices you're engaged in, check this kind of like this ecosystem, sustainability, and like the links, the integration throughout this time scale. Because whatever you're doing, it needs to be aligned and it needs to take this timeline continuity into account. It is one pattern. It is all related. So whatever you're doing in any of these, like in your past, in your present, or for the future, it needs to be consistent. And rather than doing, by the way, 10 different techniques, that's what I do in one. But that's just, yeah. There are ways how to do it all together so that you don't have to like do 50,000 courses at the same time, okay? That's why I'm sharing that. For you to know that if you've been struggling and feeling stuck in your self-development, in your own healing path, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. You're not doing anything wrong. This is not about you trying to push harder and be smarter and dedicate even more time and money into some new latest methods. Like, I already have one, but now there's this other person showing up with the even bestest in the world technique or method. It's not always looking for the new thing and jumping from one to another. Whatever you're doing, check the internal consistency. Is it covering all these time dimensions? Is it consistent? Is it helping you not just in the moment, but like be the role model you want your kids to have and to watch and observe? Are you being that person right now that you want your kids to become? Not that they should become your mini you, but are you modeling those qualities and those mental abilities that you want them to grow up with? And do you feel like you have those practical embodied tools to work with your nervous system so that you can be modeling that? Perfectly imperfect, but especially in those times when the pressure is high, when you are already exhausted and overwhelmed, because those are the moments when your kids need it the most, right? So that they feel safe and that they have a healthy path and like recipe to watch. Like, that's how it's done. Perfectly imperfect. Yeah. We are all humans. I'm not perfect myself, but I have the tools and I am practicing them daily because I know I need to do what I preach, not just for me and like my family and the women I work with and the team I'm building and supporting and like all of my studies and research on top. But I'm doing that first of all for myself and for my daughter. That's why it's key, because I know she's watching, especially when I need it the least. I'm like no, she's watching. Yeah. So what is it that we are modeling to our kids? And are all the tools, this is not about you spending more time and doing and reading more. Is it working for you? Is it what you're already doing? Do you see the results? And are those results, like, are you confident that they are covering the integrity of this time scale? And if your answer is yes, then absolutely go for it. And then just streamline and minimize all the noise and disruptions, like distractions of all the new shiny things. Then just double down on what you're doing. Make it as simple as possible so that you stick with it consistently, most likely for the rest of your life, because that's what this practice is about. It's just about finding fun ways how to automate that and that to become your new autopilot in your brain. I don't have to think about my practice anymore that much. Unless there's like a new thing landing on me, then I need to double down on it and be more conscious. But for the rest of the time, it's like it's on autopilot now. So how can you make it an autopilot so that it feels less heavy and draining and like, oh, I've been doing this for 10 years. When are we there yet? Like, please, when am I going to be done and healed so that I can enjoy my life? Right? Like, am I going to be in therapy for the rest of my life? You don't have to. Okay? There are ways. Just like check what you're doing right now. Is it working for you? Then great. If not, then start looking for something that can take it end to end and that it can feel easier and lighter for you to make it like your new autopilot and daily practice. Okay? If you want to know, because this is not a sales podcast or anything, so the only hint I'm going to give you, go and check out our latest free mommy tantrum session. It's only 23 minutes, so it's super quick, but it's an orientation. Yeah, so I'm not going to teach you and overwhelm you there with any theory, but it will take you deeper into what is going on and what is it that you might need to look for with me or anybody else, whatever you feel like you need to get stuck away from, where you need help with. It's going to give you clarity on that. Yeah, so that's a free resource that I have available for anybody who's interested. And for the rest, like, go and listen to your intuition. check against that timeline, how it's all related, your past into how you're reacting today and what impact that has for your kids in the future. And congratulations, Supermom. This is not easy. I can only imagine how much courage you have after all these years, how much you've tried. This really shows me how deeply you care about your kids, how important this is for you that you clean it up so that they don't get stuck with same patterns and they don't have to do therapy 30 years from now. So well done to you for that. I know you probably have lots of judging, critical voices in your head that shame you for, I should have been already healed by now and da, what's wrong with me? There is nothing wrong with you. This is not your fault. And it's good that you're committed, and it's great that you're putting your energy into it. Let me just see, hopefully this podcast episode brought some more clarity. And yeah, if I see you around, then look forward to it. Let me know what you get out of this podcast episode, and good luck. Let's do it. Bye, Supermom.